Okay, hear me out. This looks like a pastry, but it's made with meat. Today, I'm making what's called Carnivore Meat Pie, fluffy, golden, and filled with juicy beef instead of apple or cherries. It's the perfect family treat and party appetizer, and wait till you see how easy it is to make. Let's get into it. Hey Carnivore Tribe, welcome back. It's Brenda from Carney and Beyond. And today, we're doing a new recipe. It's one of my new obsessions, to be honest, and it's called the Carnivore Meat Pie. So what we start off with is a half pound of ground beef. I use the 80/20 and I salt it up generously because I love my salt. And of course, I use Redmond's real salt. And simple enough, we're going to separate 3 eggs. I'm doing this into a cup first only because I buy farm fresh eggs here in Mexico, and you can't always guarantee that they're even wiped off. Some of them can get pretty disgusting, so if a shell falls in, I really don't like to use it. I'd rather just be safe and make sure that it's as clean as possible. So here I am separating the egg white into the mixer and then putting the egg yolk into the cup. And here I broke my rule about doing it in a cup first because I thought, well, it doesn't matter. I could contaminate it on either side. And if I do, this recipe is only asking for 3 eggs, so it's not a big deal. Let's take the risk. So I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my friends in Mexico, Shawnee, and say thank you for lending me your KitchenAid mixer. What a difference. There's no way I could have done this by hand, and I do have a small mixer, but not as powerful as this, so this definitely made the job easier. So what I'm doing here is mixing up the egg whites, and I want to get it to a consistency where it's forming stiff peaks. And as you just saw, I mixed up the egg yolks in the cup, ready to be folded in once these egg whites get to that consistency. So let's speed things up a little bit and see how they turn out. Okay, we got some white peaks going. It looks pretty good. I'm going to stop it there, and now I'm going to take the gently folded or whisked egg yolks. Say that 3 times fast, and add them into the egg white. But I want to fold it in slowly. I don't want to cause the air in the egg whites to kind of deflate. So I'm trying to just fold around the eggs, pour a little bit of the egg yolk in, fold it again. And the key here is you're trying to get the same consistency of color throughout the mixture without, pushing or destroying the air that you've introduced into the egg whites. Most of time I have sped up this video and I'm doing a voiceover right now. So it looks like I'm really bashing these egg whites, but I wasn't. I was gently folding and turning and going from beneath and bringing that egg yolk up and trying to mix it in. Hindsight, I probably could have done the egg white slightly longer, but hey, the recipe turned out amazing. So I'm not going to bash what I did because it did turn out really well. Now we're going to take a piece of parchment paper. This is parchment for my air fryer, fits perfectly. And I'm going to take some of this mixture, and you want to kind of spread it out and form it into what you want to call like almost a bun. And I'm just going to do 2 of them for now. And I actually did a little bit, I experimented a little bit more with the leftover batter, but I would say I could easily get 6 of these out of those 3 eggs, salt. So basically 3 eggs, half a pound of ground beef, and salt. I could easily make 6 of these pastries. So now I'm just taking some of the pre-prepared ground beef that only has salt in it, I have a lot of allergies, so I try not to introduce too many spices. Some of them I can handle, but for this, I wanted to keep it simple and just see how simple could taste. And I'm forming it into a meatball and then giving it a little bit of a squash down. And I thought, what the heck, I'm going to add a mozzarella ball, fresh mozzarella, in the middle of one of them and just see how it turns out. So now let's add this to the air fryer. The air fryer has been warming up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And these are going to go into the air fryer and cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. Of course, it's my first time doing them, so I'm going to definitely check them at 10 minutes or listen to the nose. Okay, they've been in for about almost 10 minutes now. I'm just going to double check them. They're starting to smell really good and they look great. I have some melted butter here, so I'm just going to brush one of the pastries to see just how it changes its consistency. I'm hoping that it'll help crisp it up and give it like a buttery flavor. And then the other one I'm going to do a little differently again because I'm not sure if the butter is going to actually soften the pastry. Not very good camera angle here, but this one I'm just putting the remnants of the egg yolk that's left at the bottom of the cup and brushing the egg yolk all over the pastry and then throwing them in again. And this only took a few more minutes and then they were done. So here I decided to check on the pastries again because I could start smelling them as if they were starting to burn. I still have about 2.5 minutes left here on the timer, so it didn't quite need 15 minutes. It needed 12.5 minutes. And look at these. They are delicious. The one that I coated with butter, that one ended up turning a little bit overly browned. It kind of does look a little burnt, but it had no flavor of being burnt whatsoever. And the other one that I coated in egg ended up being nice and crispy and held together really well. Both were just as delicious as the other. And now the moment of truth. I honestly can't believe that there is zero flour in this and has all this flavor. This is just egg whites whisked up and then the egg yolk folded in, put on a piece of parchment with a little bit of meat in the center and topped with some cheese. But the consistency, the flavors in your mouth, how it's hitting the tongue, the beef is juicy, not dried out whatsoever. It is so delightful for the sensory difference of eating this. I can't get over it. This is going to be an absolute, like, people are going to think you bought this at the bakery and it's pure carnivore goodness. It's just 3 simple ingredients, and this is not only going to be a family favorite for us, but also it's going to be something that I'm going to take to the next neighborhood get together. Like, look at this. The pastry is airy, fluffy, a little bit of crunch. Now, it's buttery too, and because I did coat this one with butter, the bottom got a little soggy, so it kind of reminds me of a Yorkshire pudding. It has the same airiness to it and fluffiness to it, but then, you know, when you used to add the gravy to it and the bottom would get a little bit wet, that's the same sort of feeling. But oh my gosh, it is definitely another winner. I'm loving it. Okay, now I have to try the second one because I do have to do the comparison, you know, for entertainment purposes only. But this one, honest to God, it turned out just as well. I'd have a hard time choosing one or the other. This one, if you remember, was coated with the egg yolk, so it has ended up much crunchier, not overly crunchy, and still has the airiness to it. The beef is still as tender. Do I like the one with the cheese on and the butter? Yeah, it had a little bit more flavor, but if you can't have cheese or you don't want to have cheese, then this version is still going to satisfy your taste buds. Now, as I'm saying here, rather than making another long video, I've decided that next week's video is going to be about what I did with the leftover dough in the mixer. And it too is a game changer from one of my earlier recipes. Well, that's it for today's recipe. Wishing you bacon-scented blessings for your week ahead. Until next time, hasta luego. Love you guys.